Good morning, it's Edna here live with Free Coaching Friday. And remember, if you need my help building your real estate cash flow to $5,000 a month or beyond, reach out to me at ednakeep.com, 90 days to 5k.com. Anyway, so this is again coming about because of some conversations that I had with students this week. And I've done one similar to this before, and it's about I have an apartment building, now what? But this is I have an apartment building under contract, now what? What I find is a lot of people, most people who don't really know what they're doing, they try to negotiate everything up front. Because with the house you have to, right? Like when you write that contract, it's pretty much done unless you go in and do an inspection and find out there's a furnace that's gone or the roof needs shingling, different stuff like that you might be able to go back on. But basically, the price that you write is usually the price that is given. When you're working with fix and flips and stuff like that, might be a different story. But if you're looking at buying a single family home or even a duplex, generally you're closing in 5 to 10 days. And there's not a lot of time to do a whole lot of due diligence. You want it done up front. With apartment buildings, it's different. I had a student this week that told me, I'm not having any luck with getting vendor takebacks. He said, I ask people when I call them, because he's doing some outward bound calls to apartment building owners, and one of the questions he's asking them is, would they be willing to do VTB or an AFS? And first of all, I explained to them, most vendors don't even know that they're called vendors, So vendor take back or a VTB is not in their language. So we have to talk to them direct about what that means. And I'm not saying all, lots of vendors know what that means, but not all. So that's a terminology that you have to be more detailed on. And that would be, would you be willing to hold some financing? And then a lot of times you have to explain to them what that means. But what I also explain to them is, don't ask for that on the phone when you're calling about a building. Get that building under contract first. 90% of your negotiating, 95% even, is going to happen after you have that building under contract. Because that's when you get the financials, that's when you get in to see the property. So much different than a house where you're getting in to see it before you make the offer, that sort of thing. Most apartment building owners do not want their tenants disturbed. They do not want their tenants to even know that they're thinking about selling. So think about that. If you do go through the building, or when you do, but if you do ahead of time, first of all, it's highly unlikely. But when you do go through, they might ask you, and if they don't, keep it in your own mind, you're an inspector or you're just checking out for some renovations or whatever. You're not, I might buy this place, They don't want their tenants to know. So keep that in mind. And then after you get it under contract, and really it's not, and I know realtors won't agree with me on this, but the price you negotiate up front does not matter. If they're asking for $1 million, give them $1 million, or 5% less if you want to do a little negotiation up front or get a little bit of a price discount up front. But don't start, the roof needs done and I drove by and it looks vacant. Don't get into all that yet. You want to get that building under contract. Be excited about it. Tell them that you're really interested in buying a building. You're looking at a few. But you'd like to, ask them, what are you looking for this property? And maybe they're way out to lunch. You won't know, and you might have a good idea, but you won't know until you get under contract and get to see all the financials, because it's the financials that's going to tell you the story. So get it under contract. Then the negotiations begin. And this is the nice part to people, is it doesn't rely 100% on you. Well, I think it's worth so much a door. Because you know what? In reality, most of you won't know what it's worth a door. You need unless you've done a lot, of course, after a while you get to know. But even then, sometimes you're surprised by what the building's actually worth or valued at. So get the financials, but then get things in front of your mortgage broker, get things in front of your building inspector, your environmental inspector, all that kind of stuff, because that is what's going to bring you back to your negotiating. So now if the boiler is no good, or the roof needs replacing, or it's vacant because you've noticed that on the financials, or expenses are really high, then you've got actual grounds to negotiate with. Make sense? So remember, don't worry so much about what your offer is up front. Most sellers realize that the negotiation is going to happen afterwards. They just want to know that you're serious, that you're willing to put the property under contract and start working on it. There's so many tire kickers out there that don't actually do anything. They want to see your building, they want to bother you, they want to do this and that. Most people don't have time for that. So get it under contract, then start doing the due diligence, and use your team to help you with all of that. You don't need to know everything. Your team includes your coach too, if you're working with somebody, because they've been through the process a dozen or more times and they know what to be looking for. Do you get blindsided sometimes? Absolutely. But that is going to help you through 90% of your, I have a building under contract, now what? So hopefully that helped you. And if you need my help building that portfolio and increasing your cash flow through multifamily, reach out to me at edna@ednakeep.com. I love doing strategy calls with people to see if it's a good fit for us to work together, because it's not for everybody. Sometimes people are brand new beginners and not quite time to be moving on to working with me. But reach out to me. We can discuss it. I guarantee I'm not high pressure with anything. And I look forward to talking to you. Have a really, really good weekend. I know we have our first Christmas party tonight, or not tonight, tomorrow night. And it's at my house, so I'm always first in line. I love Christmas parties, other people's Christmas parties, but I really love my own Christmas party. So we're going to have a blast this weekend, so I hope you do too. And we'll see you all on Mindset Monday. Bye for now. Hi, Joanne. How are you?